Blake and her team have added a former CIA agent for Crisis Con. That's how bad things are, that she's hiring like a former spy.
Blake Lively has always been a fixture of Hollywood glamour, a red carpet queen, a beloved actress, and a media darling. But behind the scenes, a storm has been brewing, one that no one saw coming. It started as whispers, then escalated into a full-blown industry scandal. The rumor? Blake Lively didn't just hire a PR team to manage a crisis. She allegedly recruited a former CIA operative to dig up dirt on Justin Baldoni. A move so bold, so strategic, that it left insiders stunned. The tension between Blake and Justin had been building for months, ever since their failed project together collapsed under mysterious circumstances. What should have been a quiet falling out turned into an industry-wide spectacle, filled with cryptic social media posts, passive-aggressive interviews, and reports of behind-the-scenes betrayals. But while Justin had tried to move on, Blake had other plans. She wasn't just playing defense, she was going on the offensive. Enter Nick Shapiro, a name that may not mean much to the public, but one that carries serious weight in government and intelligence circles. A former deputy chief of staff for the CIA, with deep ties to the highest levels of power, Shapiro had built a post-agency career specializing in crisis PR.
Fixable at this point.
You have to admit it. You're wrong.
She will not recover from this. Professionally.
No, it's done.
And he probably won't either.
I think he'll leave her after this, because I think she has taken this so far.
I mean, he inserted himself into like all of it. If you're going to go nuclear, which is what she did, she went nuclear with the lawsuit.
Just throwing everything at the wall.
And the New York Times, she went nuclear, right? Because she thought, we're bigger than him.
Is it to get the rights for the second movie? Is this what all this is about? To take it away from him? What is it about?
Yes, I think there was part of it was that, and I think her behavior on the film was about that as well. Like, she really inserted herself. Ryan did too. They wanted to take ownership over this.
Make no mistake, his expertise went far beyond handling bad press. His job wasn't about spinning a story, it was about controlling the entire narrative. And that's exactly what Blake needed. Hiring a former CIA operative wasn't just a drastic move, it was a clear signal. Blake wasn't just trying to salvage her reputation, she was preparing for war. Shapiro wasn't brought in to manage a simple PR crisis. His job was far more sinister. Find dirt on Justin Baldwin, anything that could be weaponized. A scandal, a past mistake, a questionable business deal. In the world of high-stakes Hollywood feuds, information isn't just power, it's currency. And Blake was about to cash in.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have moved to hire a PR crisis manager with deep government ties. As her legal battle with Justin Baldoni escalates, she's quietly working with Nick Shapiro, the CIA's former deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to former director John Brennan. And so this is a terrible look for Blake and Ryan Reynolds, but these two seem to be very intent on making every wrong move, in my opinion. Like, they truly believe they are too rich and too connected to have to face any responsibility for their lives. They're just going to hire people who are more immoral than them to handle it, to just make it go away.
Behind closed doors, her team started working overtime. Sources claim emergency meetings were held in total secrecy. NDAs were signed. Calls were made to top media figures. The goal? Control the story before it could control Blake. The mission wasn't just about defending her, it was about dismantling Justin. If the right story leaked at the right time, his career could take a fatal hit. But how do you destroy someone in Hollywood without leaving fingerprints? That's where the CIA playbook comes in. Shapiro's approach wasn't just about getting information, it was about creating a web so complex, so layered, that by the time anyone realized what was happening, the damage would already be done. Sources close to the situation alleged that strategic leaks were planned, with anonymous tips being fed to top-tier journalists. The idea was simple: make it look like the scandal was organically surfacing rather than being orchestrated behind the scenes. And it worked. Almost overnight, Justin found himself at the center of a coordinated media storm. Questions about his past projects, his business dealings, even his personal life suddenly became public discourse. The timing was too perfect to be coincidental. Headlines popped up with sensationalized accusations, vague enough to avoid legal trouble, but damaging enough to stir speculation. Social media accounts, some real, some suspiciously new, began amplifying the claims, turning whispers into trending topics. For anyone watching closely, the fingerprints of a larger operation were everywhere. The sudden shift in media coverage, the coordinated timing, the eerily similar language used across different outlets. It was a textbook strategy pulled straight from the intelligence world. Distract, discredit,
destroy.
But the real question remained, how far was Blake willing to go to bury Justin Baldoni? And would the public buy into the manufactured chaos, or would the truth eventually rise to the surface? Justin Baldoni had faced media scrutiny before, but nothing like this. The headlines came out of nowhere, relentless, coordinated, and filled with
Friedman want to give them access to the phone records. What is he going to hide? Why hasn't he released all these receipts that he claimed he wanted to release? I guess her team forgot that they were arguing with the judge and saying that they're entitled to privacy. Remember, they wanted protective orders. They wanted to make sure that Brian Friedman stopped leaking things to the press. And apparently they think they need to beef up their team, because they just hired this guy, Nick Shapiro, to help with crisis PR, who was formerly the CIA Deputy Chief of Staff. So when you're now starting to pull in the big guns, I don't know if that means you're feeling too